Hey everybody, and welcome back to America's Heroes. I'm Josh, and that is Earl.
How you doing?
Alright, so this episode of America's Heroes, we are going to be talking about the Supreme Sorcerer, the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. Actually, the movie that's going to be coming out in this November, I can't remember the date, but it's coming out in November, so we're going to be talking about what we are expecting in the movie. But before that, Earl, why don't you tell us a brief intro on who Doctor Strange is?
All right. Doctor Strange was a character created by Stan Lee in the early 60s about this doctor who was very arrogant. This guy had, thought he was like God. He had a God complex and everything. And he ended up getting into an accident and having his hands crushed. He was this brilliant surgeon. But since his hands were in an accident and they were crushed, he really couldn't perform surgery anymore. So he went to the Himalaya mountains and went just looking for holistic ways to maybe get his hands back to where he could be a surgeon. And he goes into this cave and he runs into this guy who teaches him the ways of the mystic arts and everything. And he eventually gets the Eye of Amagata, which is the source of all of his power.
Okay, cool.
So, and then he goes back out into the world. Pretty much now he's Sorcerer Supreme. So he's humbled.
Yes.
And no longer really cares about doing surgery. I think it's really funny that Doctor Strange does all these weird things with his hands, and you kind of wonder, is that from the accident, or is he just like making funny little signs with his hand, like gang signs or something? Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, the character's endured for a little over 50 years now, and now with the major motion picture coming up, I really expect a lot of interest in the character.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to get super popular now.
Oh,
especially with Benedict Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
So for the movie, let's go into the intro, or the beginning of the movie. Do you think that this will be a straight-up origin movie, or do you think the origin will be played like in the Incredible Hulk movie, or maybe like a 10-minute flashback or montage?
I think they're going to just go ahead and do the first 30 minutes or so of the movie with an origin.
Okay.
Since it's a new character and hasn't really been done on film before, I think they'll go ahead and just give him his origin for about 30 minutes. Doctor gets in an accident, goes to the mountains, finds this guy. They can be done pretty quick. With the Hulk movie, it was the second Hulk movie. Really didn't need it because everybody knows the Hulk's origin.
Yeah.
And I feel they're going to do the same thing with Spider-Man in Civil War.
I hope so.
They're not going to give them an origin story.
We don't need another Uncle Ben dying.
No. And I think you're going to just see well, who are you? Like, how'd you get your powers? I was bitten by a radioactive spider.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. So I do think with the Doctor Strange movie, they will give you a pretty comprehensive origin.
Yeah. Now, for the villains, because Doctor Strange has not many villains, but he has quite a few memorable villains.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think will be the big baddie for this movie?
I'm hoping Dormammu. That would be nice. I think what we might see is like we saw with Batman Begins. You had Ra's al Ghul, played by Liam Neeson, out there, but you realize there was somebody else behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have a villain pop up and find out that Dormammu's really the one behind him.
Yeah.
Maybe he was sent there to invade this realm. Be able to bring Dormammu into there. It's a classic story. You send somebody there to open the gate for the big baddie to come through.
Yeah, and and Mads Mikkelsen is playing a bad guy, a villain.
Mm-hmm.
He portrayed the most recent version of Hannibal Lecter in their TV show. I can't remember what station it was on, but he played a phenomenal Hannibal Lecter, and I think he can play a great villain again.
Sure. And it's not listed anywhere, especially on IMDb, about what his character's name is. There's like 3 or 4 people listed there that they don't have their character's name listed on there. Rachel McAdams is one of them. She's probably going to be a love interest for Doctor Strange. I mean,
definitely.
And she might be Clea
Could be.
who was the one. I mean, she would look like her. So I'm waiting to see exactly who Mads Mikkelsen's going to be. It's going to be fun.
Do you think he could be Baron Mordo?
No.
No?
No, because Chiwetel Ejiofor
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, he's listed as
Okay,
Baron Mordo.
So Mads Mikkelsen might be an entirely new villain.
Could be an entirely new villain, and it'll be real interesting to see because this is the first time that you're going to see mysticism and magic.
Oh yes, the proper
Marvel
magic in the Marvel universe,
Right?
Or cinematic universe. Yeah. What do you think of casting Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One?
It's really interesting because it's supposed to be an androgynous character, not in the book. In the comics, it's not an androgynous character. You can tell it is a ancient old man.
Yeah.
No problem with it. She played a really good androgynous character in Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
So
She played the White Witch in the Narnia movie.
mm-hmm. I think she'll be able to pull it off. It'll be a new take on the Ancient One, which I think they're going to somehow fold into the cinematic universe rather than worry about the comics version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be really, really good. She's an accomplished actress, so.
My main hope is, as long as it works for the story and the movie, I'm fine with it. I think she's a great actress too.
Mm-hmm. She can play many parts. I mean,
Oh yeah.
In Constantine, I thought she was great.
Mm-hmm.
And Benedict Cumberbatch, at first I was a little skeptical about it, but I think it's going to work really well. Would like to see when he and Tony Stark finally meet up, the Beard Brothers.
Yeah. Ego's brother.
The awesome Beard Brothers.
I saw that comment. That was funny.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Okay, so other dimensions. We're definitely going to be getting different dimensions. We're going to be getting Dormammu's dimension most likely. What dimensions do you think we'll be getting in this movie besides Dormammu's, possibly?
Well, I think you could actually do a little bit of crossover with Thor and their version of hell.
Yeah.
We don't know how powerful they're going to make the eye, Doctor Strange's mystical Agamotto. We don't know how powerful they can make it, and he could actually probably cross into other dimensions. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a supernatural dimension. He could probably cross over into, like, say, maybe a negative universe where maybe
Negative
like a
zone.
Nihilus is. Negative zone, exactly.
Come on, Fantastic Four.
That would be neat. Asgard, hell. I'm pretty sure we're going to see his astral form too.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
He might actually fight Mads Mikkelsen in the astral plane.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Which would be kind of, I mean, that'd make for an interesting battle.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if, say, Stephen Strange is hurt in a fight physically.
Yeah.
His astral form could come out.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably have Clea sitting there, just begging him, "Come on, Stephen, you have to fight," and he gets out and his astral form fights.
Yeah.
It'd be really neat to see how they do that CGI wise.
Oh, that'd be pretty interesting. So you think we're gonna get the Sanctum Sanctorum right away in the movie?
I think we're gonna get something like it, but we may not see the familiar, the Skyline, the Doctor Strange symbol that everybody sees at his on his house. I don't think you'll see that until the end.
Maybe again. Yeah. Good work.
Yeah, and then I'm waiting to see Wong. His not gonna use the word manservant. His butler.
His butler's Alfred.
Yeah, his Alfred.
So what do you think? We know in this movie we're going to be getting or at least we think we're going to be getting a Infinity Stone. Which one do you think it will be?
We might get the Time Stone.
Either Time Stone or Space Stone.
Yeah.
I'm betting on Space Stone.
Yeah, it's the way he hops dimensions and everything.
Yeah.
That would probably work.
Mm-hmm. So have you seen the animated Doctor Strange movie that Marvel put out a few years ago?
I saw it once.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it compared to the other ones they did. Didn't care for Iron Man too much, but...
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty good representation of the Doctor Strange character. I wouldn't mind if they had the movie be something kind of like that, bring Doctor Strange into this war that's been going on for millennia and something. The only thing that bothered me from the animated movie was that it was really short.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked the kind of intro to be maybe 30 minutes and the rest of the 90-minute movie to be action or exposition and whatnot.
If you want something interesting, is you can go on YouTube and type in Doctor Strange TV movie.
Okay.
They did one in the mid-late 70s.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Really, really bad. Doctor Strange had a big head of curly hair. And,
An afro.
yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our thoughts on what we think will be in the movie, what we hope will happen in the movie. So thank you all for letting us come by again. And stay tuned next week where we will test out a new show called Source 2 Movies. Talking about source material and see how well the studio did in the movie. So look out for that one. And as always, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Real Nerd Word for me. And for you guys,
It's America's Heroes Comics on Facebook and AH Comics on Twitter.
alright, check us out there and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.